I got to come out and say, all jokes aside, Brittany Griner was an absolute beast tonight. But I'm not sure there was a bigger beast in the arena than the officiating in this game, which was absolutely brutal.
What if the biggest, most formidable opponent Caitlin Clark faces every time she steps onto the WNBA court isn't wearing an opposing jersey, but rather a striped shirt and carrying a whistle?
Let's take a look at the final numbers. I got to tell you, number one, shame on the WNBA, because the WNBA and everything that's happened in the last 3 days absolutely wore down this Indiana Fever crowd.
It's a disturbing question, but one that's exploding across the basketball world as shocking new evidence reveals a pattern so blatant, so consistent, it's becoming impossible to ignore.
We got to just come out and say it. The original triplets showed up tonight. Aaliyah Boston, 24. Kelsey Mitchell, 24. Caitlin Clark had a monster game. 27 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. Those 5 rebounds she had in the first half of the game.
This isn't just about a few bad calls. It's about a potential crisis that could rock the league to its very foundation, just as its brightest star is drawing millions of new eyes to the game.
Sophie Cunningham here for their second straight game. They are
two bigs. I think they'll make some adjustments, but they are doing a good job playing with two bigs so far.
And there's Clark turning
almost didn't get across midcourt.
Alicia Gray has it denied. Austin sends it back. Clark with numbers. Bounce pass Howard.
Caitlin Clark's arrival has been nothing short of a phenomenon, shattering records and electrifying crowds with a skill level and charisma rarely seen.
As much as you don't want to have to lose a game like this, is going through some of those end of game situations early help?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually, so it's even better. I guess we can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well. So,
yet her history-making journey is increasingly overshadowed by a storm of on-court controversies and officiating decisions that simply don't add up, creating a perplexing paradox.
Boston continues to show her frustration. It really started a couple.
Take, for instance, a recent heartbreaker of a game. Clark was an absolute force, dropping a monstrous 27 points, dishing out 11 assists, and grabbing 5 rebounds. A defining night for most. But for Clark, this is rapidly becoming the norm. With that performance, she tied the legendary Courtney Vandersloot for the most 20-point, 10-assist games in WNBA history. The staggering difference, Clark did it in 42 games. Vandersloot took over 400. That's not just breaking records, it's obliterating them. She even became the 4th fastest player to hit 800 career points in that very same game, rewriting history at an unprecedented pace. Yet, despite this undeniable talent, it often feels like Clark is battling more than just her defenders. An invisible wall of perplexing officiating seems to operate by different rules when she's involved. The whispers of inconsistent officiating have now become a roar, amplified by meticulously compiled video breakdowns going viral, showcasing frame-by-frame proof of what fans have been decrying. These aren't just isolated complaints. The compilations reveal a relentless stream of missed calls, phantom fouls, and blatant no calls, all consistently centered around Caitlin Clark. The footage is chilling, defenders clearly hacking her arm on shots, no whistle, players essentially tackling her on layups, plays that would draw immediate fouls for others, yet play continues. One particularly egregious sequence shows Clark attempting a three-pointer, only to have a defender crash into her landing space. A textbook flagrant 1 foul. The call? Nothing, not even a common foul. If the no calls against Clark are baffling, the fouls called on her are often mystifying, with video evidence exposing a clear double standard in how she's officiated. Clark seems to accumulate phantom fouls for minimal contact. There's footage of her standing perfectly still, arms vertical, only for an offensive player to initiate contact and Clark gets whistled. This contrasts sharply with opponents seemingly allowed more aggressive plays against her. The most damning evidence comes from side-by-side comparisons, identical plays, starkly different officiating outcomes. The outcry has moved beyond fan forums. Connor McCaffrey, Clark's boyfriend, tweeted, "Good to see the W refs in mid-season form," while commentator Jason Whitlock bluntly stated, "This officiating crew is horrible." Even celebrities attending games, like two-time Masters champion Bubba Watson, have been spotted looking perplexed by the on-court officiating, signaling a widespread issue. This universal sentiment raises the burning question: why would WNBA officials, consciously or unconsciously, appear to be targeting the league's most incandescent star? Some suggest an old-school earn-your-stripes mentality, but for a record-breaking talent like Clark, that period should arguably be over, especially when player safety is a concern. Others whisper of a more troubling possibility, an undercurrent of resentment or a desire from within the WNBA ecosystem to manage or contain Clark's meteoric rise. This theory gained traction when a broadcast partner was caught on a hot mic mentioning talking points about balancing the Clark coverage, hinting at narrative control. As video evidence mounts and analysts cry foul, the WNBA headquarters has remained stubbornly silent, offering no statements or explanations for the glaring discrepancies. This silence is particularly jarring when juxtaposed with the league's highly public and ongoing investigation into Indiana Fever fans based on unverified social media claims, a seemingly misplaced priority. The Caitlin Clark effect is undeniable, skyrocketing TV ratings, sold-out arenas, and unprecedented media buzz, bringing millions of new eyes and dollars to the league. It is, frankly, organizational malpractice on a staggering scale. Why would any rational business actively undermine its most valuable asset at the peak of her popularizing power, risking it all? The evidence is now overwhelming, painting a picture that is deeply unsettling for anyone who cares about fair play and the growth of women's basketball. The WNBA stands at a crucial moment. Its next moves will determine whether it champions integrity or allows suspicion to tarnish this golden era. What do you believe is truly happening behind the scenes? Share your insights and theories in the comments below, hit that like button if you demand accountability, and subscribe for continuing coverage on this vital issue. Remember, as you navigate the world of YouTube automation or any creative endeavor, the path can sometimes feel like you're battling unseen forces or facing perplexing challenges, much like the ones discussed here. But just as diligent observers are bringing light to these issues, your dedication, your meticulous research, and your unique voice can break through the noise. Keep creating, keep questioning, and keep pushing forward. Your perspective is valuable, and your efforts will make a difference. Stay resilient and believe in the power of your content.
As much as you don't want to have to lose a game like this, is going through some of those end of game situations early help?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually. So it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well. So
the evidence is piling up, spread across social media, dissected on sports talk shows, and debated by millions. The frame-by-frame footage exposing how Caitlin Clark is often officiated differently is too clear, too comprehensive, and too widespread to be dismissed as mere fan grievances or isolated mistakes. The WNBA is standing at a critical crossroads. One path leads to transparency, accountability, and a commitment to fair play, addressing these officiating concerns head-on and ensuring a level playing field for all its athletes, including its brightest star. The other path continues down this road of silence, deflection, and apparent indifference, risking the alienation of a massive new fan base and undermining the league's credibility at the very moment it should be celebrating an unprecedented surge in popularity. Fans aren't stupid. They can see what's happening on their screens. The narrative is rapidly forming, and it's not a flattering one, that the WNBA is either unable or unwilling to manage its own game fairly, especially when it comes to its most popular player. Will the WNBA step up, acknowledge the problems, and take decisive action to protect its players, its product, and the sport's integrity? Or will they allow this incredible, historic wave of momentum, largely driven by one generational talent, to be squandered by suspicion, controversy, and a deafening, damaging silence? The future of the league's explosive growth might just depend on their answer. What do you think is really going on here? Is it incompetence, a deliberate strategy, or something else entirely? Drop your theories and frustrations in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you want to see fair officiating, and subscribe for more updates as this critical story continues to unfold.